Hi, today we're starting with a completely different perspective. This is a subwoofer, an amplifier made by Denver, and specifically it is, let me turn it around. It's a model called DSS-510, and it should be a set of 5.1 home theater speakers. You have all kinds of inputs, stuff like that on it. But the problem with this is, I just got it for free and want to use it as an amplifier. It doesn't have the subwoofer itself. I don't really have a setup to record anything in that size, so we will be making a small shots here. This is just a plastic cover, nothing is going on here. There is a hole a little bit below, as a where a large speaker works, it will produce a lot of pressure. It helps with increasing bass response for a specific frequency. It has a mesh inside, so nothing, no bugs will get inside. Let me turn it on. I don't have anything connected yet. It has a sensor for a remote. I can turn it on, probably 2-channel mode. That's the volume, presumably. It's usually in decibels, so you can change it all you want. And you can switch it to different modes. So it's, let's see, 2.1, 3.1, 5.1. So by default, it is this is a set for 5.1. Let's see. Input 6 channels, 2 channels, so you can swap between those two inputs. Let me start on the back here. This is an on-off switch that I just turned. Here's a fuse, 6 amps, and I was looking at this. It can drive speakers up to, the set of speakers that was with this were 15 watts. And over here, you can see those inputs. This is probably the 6-channel situation. So you have 6 different inputs, and this is that stereo, the 2-channel. And here you have as an output. These are front, these are rear speakers, center speaker, because this one is a subwoofer itself. So it doesn't have any output for a subwoofer. Let me pop those screws out because I had a look inside and I saw if I remove the screws on the edges, I will be able to access all boards because they are connected on a backplane. Okay, here we go. Oh boy. There is a front panel connected here, but I don't think that will be a serious problem if I want to work on this. Yeah, it's kind of short. Let me try and move this around. Yeah. So that huge nut on the back, it was actually this transformer over here, and this is the connector only for the speakers, as you can see here. Won't be able to swap it around, so let me disconnect the front panel from this so I can pull it out completely. See, there's nothing inside, nothing else. And I'm a little bit worried because the front panel has this cable glued directly to the wood inside, so that doesn't look too good. I will try to remove it later too. That's quite a huge transformer here. So what we have here is firstly the power cable that comes in here, goes through a little loop to remove any kind of, I'm not sure if you can see it over here, to remove a little bit, that's a ferrite loop, I think, to remove the interference from the power network, and then it goes to, what's going on here? Yeah, it goes to the switch. So after the switch, it also hits the fuse that you have on the back, and this element, because it does connect both the switch here, and then the other leg goes to the fuse, so it's connected, I think, as far as I can see. Yeah, basically. So it's connected against this transformer here. That's a classic STU capacitor, a safety capacitor as it's called, to filter out any problems with peaks on the voltage line, stuff like that. And it even has a drain resistor on it, so you won't feel anything when you disconnect the power. It seems that transformer has quite a few windings, This transformer has two outputs, and I suppose this is the main one basing on the thickness of the cables themselves. So if I just disconnect this, as you can see probably here, it does say AC 14 volts 2 times. So it seems that it provides it with 2 lines, and that's probably full bridge rectifier on those huge diodes over here. I think that, so this is large, that's pretty large, because you will still get AC over here in this situation. Also, it has quite thick fuses. I cannot tell from here what kind of fuses these are, but it seems that there are that type of coil situation inside. I got rid of the connector, and here on the other output, let's take a peek. It doesn't say the voltages on the output, but this is meant for this bridge rectifier over here, so it's probably powering only the logic part of stuff. And the connector I just removed is the output for the speaker, so this is where the output will go. And the situation over here, that is because that's the only connector that's unpopulated right now, so that's presumably the output of the subwoofer. It even does say SW minus and SW plus. And here we have some huge 12 volt coils. It does say on them that it can carry the load or either 12 volt DC or 240 at AC, and that's 5 amps. Looking at the capacitor situation, as you can see here, this is domed, so maybe it's not cooked yet, but it's on its last legs. That beefy radiator over here has 7 D2030A amplifier chips, so they are ready, you know, as a single package. And it seems that I was looking at the different schematics, and it seems that they are selling also boards if you have only 2 channels plus 1 subwoofer. You would only need 3 of them, but for 5.1 for some reason you need 7, so I'm a little bit confused. Is it also doing like amplification of the ground signal or something like that, one of the inputs? I also saw if you want to have extra power, you would also connect one of the one side to the ground, like one of them, if you would do only a single speaker. So I think this is what they're doing, that's why 7 of them are needed. Here on the back you can find a bit of moisture residue, but also here's a chip, that's the other daughter board. Here's a chip that's called M62446AFP, and this is specifically a volume control chip for 6 channels with a tone control. And on this side, those 4 chips over here are subwoofer, apparently subwoofer low-pass filters. So they are only passing through lower frequencies. It's kind of weird that there are 4 chips for that purpose. I'm not even sure what they are doing over here, but this boy over here is a 4-channel analog audio multiplexer to multiplexer, so it can choose, merge, stuff like that, 4 channels at once. This could be probably useful to, for example, merge audio from aux to pass it through the front and rear speakers, and do all kinds of smart stuff like that to make sure that all speakers are playing, not just the front ones, for aux input that isn't 6-channel. And looking at this black, it seems that everything that's actual logic is being done by the front panel. I also ripped the board from the front panel, and this is it. This over here is an 8-bit microcontroller. I think it has quite a lot of inputs, outputs, and all crazy stuff. So they can easily control this display, they can easily pull inputs from the buttons and also from this IR receiver. And it has 4 or 8 kilobytes of flash. I'm not sure why, you know, how you can tell how much exactly does it have, but 4 or 8 kilobytes. It runs at this specific one at 25 megahertz. And I think that's a complete overkill for this situation. So it's only steering some lines over here and just pulling some buttons doing a display. But well, they picked this and it seems that it works fine. There is nothing going on the back plane. There are some kind of moisture residue. Okay guys, rate my setup. What I've done here is connected 2 speakers. They are coming from a flat screen TV. Obviously don't do this with live wires, yada yada yada, if you don't know what you're doing exactly. I was missing single latch. I connected here the left speaker to another left output. The ground doesn't really matter in this setup specifically. I was checking that. Here you have the right side and here is the input. Then we are currently in a 2-channel mode. If I click the switch, it's a 6-2, and we are currently pulling the input from this side. I couldn't figure out what this mode does because it didn't do anything. I think it cuts out some of the inputs from this DVD input side, so again, doesn't really matter for me. There's the volume, so let me start playing here. And that's the 6-channel input, so I would have to swap around those inputs. Here's the left one. Here's the right one. As you can see here, it's all playing and it works quite nicely. Well, I'm kind of impressed that it still worked, because, well, what I would love to see for myself and another project to put this back together, keep this backplane as a whole, keep it everything working, and have 2-channel inputs on the back, have a single set of speaker, and I'm only looking for a stereo one. Maybe I will connect subwoofer, but that could be pulling from the board inside because you don't have a sound buffer output here, and that's it. Basically 2 outputs, so from PC and let's say from the radio. It's ample enough to drive some bigger speakers, and well, I will be just trying stuff out because these are quite tiny. You probably can hear the interference here, but that's coming from the input. I am routing the audio through another device, so just in case it will burn that device instead of my phone. And that's it, what I have for you today. Thank you guys for watching, and see you guys next time.